It's not the shining, it's the dimming. As in, I can't see what's going on. It's Hokum. Welcome back to Glenn Hates Everything. I'm Glenn, and today we're here to talk about the new movie Hokum. This is the third feature from writer-director Damien McCarthy, who did Caveat, which I did not see, and Oddity, which is that really creepy, scary movie about that wooden doll, that life-size wooden doll that just sits there, and it was really creepy. I really enjoyed that one. Apparently he likes to work in enclosed spaces, because Hokum, which means pretentious nonsense, I think that's a really strange thing to call your movie, because you're just inviting criticism. However, Hokum stars Adam Scott as an author named Om Bauman. That's a mouthful. And he is a very depressive, rude sort of guy who ventures out to Ireland to spread his parents' ashes at a nearby, creepy, out-of-the-way Irish hotel. And stop me if you think you've heard this one before. A writer checks into a creepy hotel and kind of loses his mind. The Shining, right? This is more like The Dimming, because it is so damn dark. Literally dark. It's very like inky black, and that's effective for a horror movie up to a point. And like when you can't actually see anything, then you got a problem. Anyhow, Adam Scott is this really, really big jerk of a writer. It's established pretty early on, the way he talks to people, the way he treats people. And I am not the biggest Adam Scott fan. There is something about him that I just don't connect with. It's a personality thing. It's a looks thing. I don't know what it is, but I'm just not a huge fan. However, this characterization, I think, worked for me because it plays upon all the things I don't like about him. So I was able to go, yeah, that's what I don't like about the guy, and I'm enjoying that. Anyhow, he checks into this hotel, and things are not quite as they seem, and it's sort of a folklore horror aspect. Things go terribly wrong. It's filled with lots of very interesting character actors like Florence Ordesh, who plays Fiona, who works at the hotel and sort of befriends him, is offended by him, but kind of tolerates poor Om. We've got others like Peter Coonan, who plays Mal, David Wilmot, who is Jerry, who is an unhoused man who lives out in the forest and knows more than he lets on. And there is a bellhop of sorts named Albie, played by Will O'Connell. That's the main gist of the cast. It's a very small, contained film. And as terrible things start to happen, and it dawns on poor Om that he is not safe, it just descends into sheer horror. It is front-loaded with lots of jump scares, and they're effective, and I'm glad that they kind of abandoned them in the second half because they're a little cheap, but Damien McCarthy really knows how to put on a jump scare. He accomplishes this by tricking you into what your perspective is, what you're looking at. So he forces your eye in certain places in the frame so that you don't see what's coming in another part of the frame. There's a really great example of that early on when Om thinks he sees something coming down the steps, and I will leave it at that. But he soon discovers this hidden area of the hotel. It's known to have been haunted by a witch, very similar to that mysterious room in The Shining. And he goes against his nature in an attempt to do some good, however, and he explores this room, and it involves probably the scariest dumbwaiter you've ever seen in your life, a depiction of the bowels of hell, basically, and it is fairly simple. The movie doesn't really go that deep. It is just about a person dealing with his grief and figuring out a way to move through the world in a slightly better way than he has. All fair game for a good movie. And it is a good movie. It's just not something that I really was drawn to. It kept me at a distance because of this very, very dark cinematography that is effective. You don't know what you're looking at. You don't know what's in the shadows. That's all well and good for a horror film. But it just doesn't make for the most pleasant viewing experience, in my opinion. It's just a simple sort of exploratory storyline where one person just goes, it's that hero's journey, although he's not the biggest hero. So, and they kind of keep him that way for most of the film. So it's fascinating to have this type of an anti-hero in a film. But I do think it's unfairly named. I don't think this movie is Hokum. It's filled with a lot of effective dread, and the use of sound is really good. The supporting cast does a good job. You can tell I'm not really all that excited about this one, right? That's exactly it. It's just, I'm going to forget this film pretty quickly, despite its effective, chilling atmosphere and a decent performance from Adam Scott that I did not see coming. That I think that this really does help establish himself as an actor that I actually might want to watch from now on. What did you think? Did you go see Hokum? Leave a comment below. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you next time.